Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Wish Dragon. It's a new movie on Netflix. I was just scrolling through looking for something to watch, not particularly looking for a movie to review on the show. I come across this poster, this animated movie. It looks, I don't know, gave me like Mitchell's versus the Machine vibes, and I enjoyed that movie. And solely based on that minor relationship between those two movies, I decided to watch Wish Dragon, and I was pleasantly surprised. First off, did not know that this was basically a take on Aladdin. A far better take on Aladdin than the live-action remake that Disney decided to regurgitate into existence. It had moments of the original Aladdin, the original animated Disney classic Aladdin, had just moments, the essence of that movie sprinkled throughout basically what is a modern-day take on Aladdin set in China. So as far as the story, Guy finds this magic genie, in this case, a wish dragon. Instead of in a lamp, it is a teapot. And this wish dragon gives this kid 3 wishes. And in the animated series, it's in order to catfish this princess in order to fall in love with him because he's poor. This movie, they're childhood friends, and this movie starts off by setting up their friendship as children. You have this movie, by the way, written and directed by Chris Appelhans, I believe. I don't know if that's a German name. I probably pronounced it incredibly incorrectly. But in production, pre-production for the sequel to this movie, which I agree with because I did love this movie. But the main character is what's his name? Din, I think. Yeah, Din. Din and Lina is his friend from childhood. So you see, they're both kind of outcasts in like grade school. They meet because they're both outcasts. They both are being raised by a single parent who are busy. She, her dad, him, his mom. So they bond because, after school, maybe the parents aren't there to pick them up. It's adorable. So they're best friends growing up, which for me, I relate to. One of my best friends growing up was a girl as well, and it was like, so it touched that kind of sentimental nerve inside of my cold dead heart, and I enjoyed it. And then I realized, then they're older. He's, still in school, but not really doing that great. He's barely there. He's still passing everything, but he never shows up. He's passing the thing. But anyway, just he wants to become this businessman. He wants to become rich because his friend, when they were children, she left because her dad made it big. He started getting all this money. So from childhood, they were separated from class. They were in different classes. He grew up poor, where her dad found success, and she grew up, very wealthy and given the opportunities that wealthy people are given. So she is also like this model. Oh, they're 19. That's right, because it's her 19th birthday. And, she's got endorsement deals and all this stuff. So she's making big bucks too. And so he, not seeing her since childhood, he comes across this lamp. This movie also shows you kind of the backstory of how the Wish Dragon, whose name is Long, I believe it's Long. Yeah, voiced by John Chu. The voice cast in this is awesome as well. John Chu plays the Wish Dragon Long. So they set up the backstory of the Wish Dragon, which you don't see in Aladdin. The overall premise of the film has changed. It's set in modern day China, so you're getting the fish out of water kind of reactions from the Wish Dragon, because he was, a long, long time ago, I don't know, thousands of years. I forget how long he had been in that he was banished to be a Wish Dragon in this teapot, and he had to serve 10 masters before he's able to enter the gates of the afterlife. because he died. He died a long time ago. He was like a dude, rich dude in control of everything. He died, but he wasn't a good dude. So actually, I think the way it sets it up is that before on his way to the pearly gates, the afterlife, he was taken away and banished to this teapot. And while out delivering food, this kid, as like a side hustle, delivers his food to like this neighborhood that looks like it's been devastated by a war. I believe what happens in China, and I could be wrong, is that a lot of the times, because of the way the government's set up, they knock down old neighborhoods. The gentrification is more dramatic, I guess would be the best way to put it. And in some areas, people still live in these like demolished areas that maybe they're like I don't even actually know, but it's an interesting setting to like this guy's this like neighborhood looked like it's gone. It's taken a lot of bombs to it. Looks like a lot of like the UK in post World War II. But so this guy's delivering food to this old man, and this old man's, crazy guy says he's a god, and gives this kid a teapot or says it's his whatever. And the kid, there's the moment where he says the magic words, the wish dragon comes out, and, same thing as Aladdin, given 3 wishes. There's similar scenes, like the intro to the wish dragon has just the essence of the scene from Aladdin when, the genie first comes out of the bottle. It has that kind of intro scene, not like he's doing an impression, just like he's touching on the essence of that scene. Still very upbeat, but I mean, John Cho, despite how amazing he is no Robin Williams. And I believe that he did the right thing in not trying to do like what Will Smith did in a lot of ways in the live action version. Just had the essence of it. It made you feel like it referenced it enough to like release whatever chemical in your brain enjoys nostalgia. So it got that. There's also a moment later on in a different part where he kind of goes over the rules of what he can and can't wish for, which are similar to the rules in Aladdin. But I love this movie. So it's you get a lot of the similar beats. So he wishes. There's the bad guys who are after him. There's these 3 thugs, right, who are after him to try and get the teapot because they want this power. They know the teapot has a wish dragon inside, and their job is to get it. And now this kid has it. So their first interaction is also the first wish of this kid, and his first wish in the moment is, I wish I could fight, because things aren't going very well. So in addition to the other changes that this movie has from the original Aladdin, there's some awesome fight scenes. It's basically like Neo when he first enters the Matrix, or Jackie Chan. It had a lot of Jackie Chan vibes. When I did research, for whatever reason, Jackie Chan kind of showed up. So I don't know if he was like, part of the production, maybe the fight choreography or whatever. Would not be surprised. It definitely had kind of that fun. Like, I would love to see, while I was watching this, I was like, I wish Jackie Chan could be young again and play this movie. Like, I would love to see a live action remake of this movie starring a young Jackie Chan, because that moment when he wishes to fight is so much like a drunken master type of a situation with Jackie Chan. So a fun action moments throughout this movie. There's not the musical moments, obviously, that you would get in the Disney versions. It's very much just a story. But I love this. It hits a lot of the same beats as far as the movie. It ends in a great way. The villains are great. The fight scenes are great. It's a fun action type of a movie. It's also a movie that's, it's all about finding what's important in life and understanding that just having a family, a community, being around people that love you and you love them is what is most important in life. And it's not the money and it's not the success. Although being poor there's like a happy middle ground, right? Like you have to be able to afford your bills at least and put food on the table and just kind of have health care, just kind of the bare necessities of life. Like as long as you have enough money that you can afford those things, then the most, because different societies, if you don't have health care, it's nice to die slowly in front of your loved ones. But I guess at least you're around your loved ones. Uh, but yeah, this movie is so amazing. Um, I really enjoyed it. The only part that didn't really work for me is the fact that, which is part of the story. It's one of the beats in the first Aladdin, but it's the part where he goes to visit her, right? Her mansion that she lives in. This is when he first finds the wish dragon. He's only made the wish to fight wish. Like they get away from the goons, and they are on their way to, which is a fun scene. They're sitting in traffic, and he's trying to convince the wish dragon to just fly them there. Similar to the OG Aladdin. But they get to the mansion, and the thing where they're best friends from childhood, the most logical thing would be that he could, as far as looking the part to get into the party, but once he was in the party, to still not just introduce himself as, hey, I'm your childhood friend, the fact that he pretends to be somebody completely different, that part, although it added more to the story because they end up going on a date, she doesn't recognize him still, and it's so that part didn't really make sense logically, but it added some more to the story. Obviously the miscommunication of everything. Her dad wants them to go on a date because he looks at his suit, and he's balling, got custom shoes and a nice fancy Rolex and a designer suit. So her dad's like, and her dad's, he came from nothing and has a ton of money, or so we think he has a ton of money. So obviously he's a person that highly values success and successful people, because that's what he's kind of driven him, which may not be the proper or the best kind of way to frame and the best perspective to have in a life when trying to understand what the most important things are. Family, which clearly, because he communicates to his daughter on her 19th birthday during her 19th birthday party, where she's basically being used to network with all these other successful people while her dad is at the office. But yeah, that's the only part that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but only mildly. It's a kid's movie, so if that's the only thing that I'm like have to get over, I'm watching a wish dragon, for God's sake. But it's it's a great movie. I loved how it ends. I love the whole thing. Like, it has the essence of the OG Aladdin, which like I said, released that chemical whatever in my brain, and I'm like, oh, I love this movie. But then it's like has so much more that's so new and updated and makes so much sense. Like the fish out of water stuff is hilarious. Like you don't get any of that in Aladdin because it's all so long ago that, there's not a whole lot new that was there wasn't like brand new technology, right? There's not like phones, cell phones, like the ability to communicate with people across the globe instantly in high def video. That didn't happen when this wish dragon first got banished to the teapot. He's been in there quite a while. But I love this movie. I highly recommend checking it out. Again, the cast is amazing. Constance Wu, John Cho, William Lee, Bobby Lee was one of the goons. Completely did unrecognizable voice. He did a voice, and they probably pitched it down a bit. It has Jimmy Wong. Jimmy O Yang was another one of the goons. Ronnie Chang was great. He played the Pippa God guy. One of the main bad guys, like fights with his hands in his pockets. So all of his fighting, even though Din knows how to fight because he wished to know how to fight, like everything he does, his hands are in his pockets until that moment. It's like the moment in Princess Bride where the dude fighting with the sword, the Dread Pirate Roberts, is like, oh no, it was Inigo Montoya. Oh man, I'm blanking on who it was, but it's when they fight. They went from the left hand. Oh, you think I fight with my left hand? No, I actually fight with my right hand. And then he goes all out. There's that kind of moment in this movie where the guy, the head goon, takes his hands out of his pockets and he like cracks his knuckles. And it's like an epic scene because you've seen him. Like, it's so awkward to see a guy fight and run around and do like parkour all the time with his hands in his pockets. So this moment when he takes his hand out finally during this fight and he's like, okay, now I mean business. And it's like that close up thing of him cracking. It's great. I love this movie so much for all of the things it is. And excited. I'm very interested to see what they do with the second one. Be very interested. It would be awesome to see if it's like maybe another take on another Disney classic, but done like if the second one is somehow like a remake of The Lion King, I will be blown away. I'll be like, just my head will explode all over the place, and I'll be dead, and the show will be over, and it would be worth it. Be worth it. But yeah, check out Wish Dragon. It's on Netflix. I loved it. Let me know if you do. Get yourself some amazing coffee over at stationhousecoffee.com and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. Order yourself some small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, and shipped directly to you. So head on over to stationhousecoffee.com and order your coffee today and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!